Ain't been around lately, but I'm still your man. We don't have forever.
So right there you saw a cinematic short film that I did. I color graded this film with Dehancer, and we're going to be talking about that today. Dehancer is a film emulation plugin that you can use on your desktop or on your iOS device. I've been wanting to use this software for a minute. I've been seeing it around ever since I became into the filmmaking space, or since they started up as a company. So I've been real interested to doing this. Just want to let you guys know I am not sponsored by them. Dehancer will see this video, but they have no say over it. You will see what I like, what I don't like, and some pros and cons. So right here we are in DaVinci Resolve. I use everything for DaVinci Resolve: feature films, short films, documentaries, YouTube videos, everything DaVinci Resolve's color grading, all of it in here. Dehancer is available on Adobe, DaVinci, all other editing software. So what I did for literally all of these clips here, I just made a couple more nodes just in case I needed to edit something. But I just put the plugin on this third node here. As you can see, we got it right here. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a clip that I haven't color graded yet, which is this one right here. This one's gonna be kind of tricky because we shot this and the sun is like blasting right here. So all right, we got the clip right here. As you can see, it is in log. We shot this in S-Log3 on a Sony a7 III. So we're gonna right click, add node corrector. If you just want to do this with a keybind, you can just alt on, if you're on Windows, it's alt S, you just add more nodes. I think on Mac it's option S or command S, one of those. So we're gonna go into our effects tab right here, and we're gonna search up Dehancer, and we're gonna come drag it right here. Now, as you can see, it already put something on there. Now, I will say I am using the pro version, and if I'm not mistaken, film developer, film compression, and film print is not available in the trial version. Dehancer does have other set programs like halation. You can just add halation for them. You can buy that, but I think you're gonna get the most useful tool out of the pro version. So this is the pro version right here. So we're gonna start with the input. This is their best feature, Dehancer. This is great. I wish I can always have this, and oh my gosh, it's great. Choose camera. They have plenty of selections to choose from. Sony, we shot this in A7 III. They have plenty of camera selections. They had the Venice 2 on here. Like, okay. They have the FS5, dude. Come on now. Yeah, y'all speaking to me. Now, of course, the FX2 just came out. They're not on here yet, so I'm pretty sure they're going to do an update for that. If you want a similar profile, they said it's similar to the Venice and it's similar to the FX3. So A7 III, S-Log3, Gamut Cine, that's what we sought this in. Boom. Already it's looking like that. I'll say, especially with Dehancer, it's definitely like a beginner friendly type of tool, so I'll definitely like play around with these tools. You see we have exposure here. We're exposed for the sun right here. See what we can do. Tested it because I knew I was going to be using this plugin. Of course, you can adjust temperature like that. So we're gonna keep everything like that, not gonna mess with the defringing. So of course, film profiles. These are real film profiles. When I got in here, I was really crazy. I was like, oh dude, you have Portrait 800. I was like, oh crazy. Then they have Cine Still 800T. Like, I mess, if you know me, Cine Still and Kodak, mess with me. Kodak, hey. But the cinematic film is on Portrait 800. Of course, you can just push and pull of it. See how you want that to look. So film developers, this is going to be great for bringing those colors out. Add some contrast, that color boost in there. We have some greenery, some red to really pop that out, even though the sun's blasting, but we're going to worry about that in a second. You see, add that contrast. Now it's already looking pretty good. Now, film compression. Now this, enable this. This is going to save for highlights a little bit. So you already see that sky? Boom, bringing it in already. So those white points, let's see, let's play with that. We don't want the sun to not look real, breaks up the image a little bit. So bring it right there. And by the way, the story behind this, I don't even know this guy on the motorcycle. He was just there where we was shooting. I was like, dude, let me get a picture. And I took a video real quick and he was like, dude, yeah, down. And I sent him some photos Cool dude. If you're watching this, dude. If you're watching this, cool dude, man. Hopefully we can do a shoot sometime. So our sky is looking good. We have some blue. We can see a little bit of red. We got the sun coming in. Like I said, this is just great. And if you really want to pop in with the sun, depending on what you're going for, you know, push it out there. I'm not sure something like this is not cool, but this is great right here. This looks good already. Now, expand. You're just gonna make your blacks darker, whites brighter or less bright, just like that, just to bring out your stuff a little bit more. Now, this right here, film print. This can make and break your stuff, add a little bit of saucier stuff. All right, so these are just certain prints that you can put on top of your film. So something like Fujifilm. So you see, it just adds just a little bit of character to it. This is what really brings it out. You know, analog film, then you can adjust just like that. You know what I'm saying? So you can do that. Everything on here, the cinematic short film, it's just everything's linear. We'll go for a little bit natural fall look type of thing, and this looks great. This looks great. So what we're gonna do, get those whites and we're gonna warm them up a little bit. Exposure, bring it down just a little bit more. Kind of trying to go for a little bit of a silhouette right there. Contrast, and of course the density if you mess with it. Okay, nice. So that looks great. So color head, of course, you can play with these, your blues, RGBs, of course. You can gang these together, adjust them together. If you just want to mess with some reds in there, make it a little bit warmer, you can definitely do that. Of course, shadows. Do you want your shadows to be blue, midtones, all that sort of things? This is this section right here. Of course, mess with them highlights. I'm saying this is, for this being what it is, it's pretty great. You get a lot of tools just in one section right here, and just go down. Then you can just copy and paste if you're filming in the same location. So yeah, we got film grain. I do like some grain on my stuff, but I don't like too much. 65 millimeter, you know, you're probably not gonna have a lot. I love how 35 millimeter looks, so that's why I went with. But of course, you can add more, and you can see like, hey, this is a lot of grain right here. So you can add less, make it a little bit more smoother. But I like to add a little grain, just to add a little bit in there because it looks really like it. So halation. Now, I'm not a big fan of halation, as you can see, like some filmmakers, or especially starting out, people will just add halation and just boost it up. And they're like, oh my god, film emulation is, sometimes it looks kind of corny, it doesn't look too good, but I think it can look pretty good with some halation. It just needs to be adjusted. Now, this is a great feature that they have. We're going to talk about this more. Mask mode. You can see right here, we can go to any profile that we want, right? 65 millimeter. We're going to keep it on Super 35 millimeter. And as you can see, add less, you can take away. You see more, that red. It's that red. So we're just going to add a little bit. I'm saying we can go about 70. And you see, it's just going to bounce off. Just add a little bit of effect with it. And we got a little glare going on. Oh my gosh. With the glare, boom. We're going to add this. Of course, you can play with it around. You don't have to go 35 millimeter everything. Mask mode. You can see what's going on here. Are we getting anything from our bloom? No, not really. Do we really need to have it on? Of course, so think about those sort of things. So look at that sort of stuff. Film damage, which I'm not really, like, I don't care to really have some film damage in there. It just depends what you're really going for, especially if it's like a flashback scene or something like this. This would be great. Add some jitters in there, will help with stabilization, that sort of thing. It really works when it's like handheld versus static. It will look different. So film breathing, don't really care too much for, but it can add some separation with the colors in there, just to let you guys know that. So just for this, I'm not gonna have that in there. Gate weave, you're just going to literally the amount of 60 millimeters, Super 35, 7 millimeters, that sort of thing. Now overscan. Now this is basically like a gate film format. So Super 35, as you see right here, they got Super 8, Standard, Super 16. We got Ultra 16, Super 35. They got widescreen 35 millimeter, which is crazy. You can adjust all of this, guys. Listen, just to film, which is great. You can even set the defocus to be not too smooth on there. Scale it up. It doesn't have to be static. You can flip it. You can do a lot of stuff with this. And you can make it horizontal. So scale it in, scale it out, scale it in, lens zoom. Let's bring it out. Let's bring it up just a little bit. Like, this is great. There's so much stuff you can do to make it your own style. Like, but for the sake of this, I'm not gonna have any overscan. Of course, monitor, you can see your false colors, that sort of thing. Great feature. You can see the clippings, what's going on right here, what clippings going on, everything like that. Output, of course, 100% if you want to get your full thing. You can make your own LUTs too, by the way. So that's what this is for, and you can export them. So if you want to make your own LUTs and just literally put it on there, whatever you film, if you're filming in the same setting, same camera, go ahead, put it on here, save it. Right here, this page, you can sign in with your license whenever you get the program. So in terms of the quality, it had normal, fast, and high, slow. Normal is just gonna be really not demanding on your computer, but high, slow is gonna be real demanding on your computer. Really trying to get those colors out there. Normal is just it's not gonna be too much on your computer. And this is for when you're color grading the clip and when you're exporting the clip, by the way. So yeah, that's how I basically color graded a clip. Of course, I would set another node if I need to go in here, make a mask or something, mask out any area that I need to, and come in here and of course adjust the shadows on him, which you can really add a lot of more depth. You can see just that glow, add a little bit more glow on him. No, mix it up a little bit. You can add a lot. Definitely do a whole bunch of different things. Then we're gonna come right here to one of the clips that I color graded, and you can see that, you know, I had some highlightation in there and didn't add too much anything crazy. And of course, contrast. I love contrasting clips. I love my blacks being dark, being really popping out, and being taking over the film, basically taking over the image. I want those blacks to be out there. That's just my style. If you see my photography, I love it. I go pretty dark. I go pretty dark. You see, I want his blacks. I want these shadows to be dark. And for this one, I didn't do any film prints. I just did linear and adjusted a little bit like that. But of course, like I said, this can add some sauce to your film if it's right. If it's right for you, for sure. Let's talk some pros and cons about Dehancer. I first want to say, I think you get a real good film emulation. You get a really true experience with what film will look like. Tons of profiles for you to use and for you to edit from. But I think they get critiqued about this the most. I think the worst thing about this emulation is the pricing. If you come here, as you can see, they do have a lifetime option, which this is great. If you know me, I do not like if you know me, I do not like subscriptions at all. I don't. That's why I use DaVinci Resolve. One-time payment, I'm done, free updates. Love it. So it's great that they have this. You can also use creator codes to get a discount on any of these, annually, monthly, lifetime. You can use a discount code. Any creator that has it, you can use it, get like 10% off. And as you can see, they have DaVinci, Final Cut, and Adobe that you can use this for. 2 seats, 1 per host. They have a monthly option that you can do. This is just for individual. Of course, they have different things that you'll be able to use it for. Of course, individual photo, you won't be able to get the DaVinci Resolve for Mac, Windows, Linux, that sort of thing. So just check out. I noticed they did change. They did change because they did have like a little pro version of it too. They had a pro, they had a halation, but they did change it up. Of course, you could save some money, do an annually thing. $89 a month is probably gonna be your best option because you get everything possible. It's a little bit expensive when you have so many subscriptions going on. From music, then you got stock footage and, you know, all that other stuff you gotta pay for as filmmakers. I do think this is great for beginners to get into. I just don't know price-wise, because if somebody doesn't really have a business going for them or they're just doing it as a hobby, not sure they want to fully invest into something like this, but they could invest into like individual photo and video, and, you know, you just get like the base amount of things. Of course, like, if you're just doing this for a hobby, you don't need invoices, that sort of stuff. So just think about that. The lifetime is expensive. But I say if you're a colorist and you're doing this full time, or if you're trying to do this full time, I think it is worth an investment because it can be a tax write-off too. So they also have an iOS version too. It's literally so simple, and you can use this. This would be great for people that like to edit with their phone, post on TikTok, or you're just on run and gun, just trying to do something, get it out quick. They literally have film profiles that you can use on there, already set up, presets already set up on the iOS app. I think this is great. I think it's great for people that edit on iPads with DaVinci Resolve. I think this is amazing because you can just transfer footage, pull it up on there. That's great. I think that's a great feature, and like round of applause for the Dehancer team for adding that. That is great, especially when you're seeing new iPads coming out and people editing on DaVinci Resolve with an iPad. We see creators making videos over this. People are doing this. We are in a new age of media where people are not just on the computer. They're on these small iPads, on the go, on the airplane, you know, doing editing, color grading. In my opinion, that's a great feature. Be thinking about that sort of thing. And the interface is a little bit different when you use the iOS app. So just be thinking about that. It's not going to be the same as you see on Adobe or DaVinci Resolve, that sort of thing. And they have a little bit different features. Like I said, they already have presets already built into the app. But one thing I like about this with the iOS app and with having stuff that's going to be built into your editing software on your desktop or your laptop is that it's different. They're giving us different stuff. I'm a guy, I love different things. I write different stories. I film different things. I want to be diverse as possible. I want to know that I want to be good at a lot of stuff. And this is what Dehancer is doing. They're doing multiple things. Now, I would like to see an app on the Android side too. Hopefully that'll be coming soon. They're giving us different things that consumers can use, especially if you're new. Download it on your phone. If you want to try it out, download it on your phone. See how it is. Hey, this is actually a good product. Let me see how the desktop and the actual like editing version on DaVinci Resolve is. This is great. It's diverse. I love it. It adds some differences into it. They're ranging out, and who knows where they're gonna add it to Dehancer. Back to the editing software here. One thing I feel like they need to have, if it is possible, how you have it when you're over here, when you're doing the halation. You have mask mode and we can see what's going on. Is there a way that we can get that when we have, you know, this film compression and we're editing these points right here, these black points? Like, I want to see what it is affecting. If there's a mask mode where we can see what each section is affecting, I think that would be great. I think that would be a really cool feature to have if we can see like, oh, this is affecting this. Of course, we'll be able to see it. Like, of course, we can see it brighten up the image, but of course, like the edge right here is not getting messed with. So I want to see if we can definitely see like a mask mode version for each thing that we're messing with in each tab. You can make a lot of this, but I wish they had like how they had preset options on the iOS app. I wish they had this on here, because I would just like scroll through presets and just boom, click, drag it on here, you know, instead of just like, I want to see what they can mix up, and of course what I can mix up too. And let me download other people who have Dehancer. Let me search for them or search presets, and like let me download other people that are using Dehancer. Let me search for their presets and download their presets and see if I can have them. I think that would be a great feature. Imagine you can come into DaVinci Resolve and go into a search tab, like a search preset tab, and creators and filmmakers, colorists have their own presets built into Dehancer, and you can just search up the name. Imagine you search up Floyd Morton. I have like 5 presets, and you can download those presets and you can put it onto your film. I think that's great. I'm just saying. Because definitely having a preset for like your Sony, or like, I guess with the LUT generator you can do this, but having a preset for your Sony, having a preset for your Red, your Canon, you know, your Venice, your Ari, that sort of thing, I think that would be great. So I would definitely say this film emulation is great for people that are already getting paid from this, that are filmmakers, you're editing, you're color grading, or you're just a colorist, whatever the case might be. If you're in that area and you are making money, definitely this is worth an investment, and you want that film emulation, this is worth an investment. But if you're new to the game, you're a beginner, that sort of thing, I don't think it's really worth the money unless you have it. Until you start making money from this, I think you can hold off from it. But I definitely think trying out the iOS version, the trial version, is definitely worth it. If you know, if you want to set money aside to definitely invest into this film emulation, if you're new, I think it's definitely worth it. But to wait off a little bit until you start making money in the industry, I think that's fine. That's great. Of course, what I say is not gospel. Do what you want. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I'm probably going to try to use this for some of my work too. You know, I got some films coming up and this looks great. I have a short film coming up soon. So this will definitely look great with this. It like having like the film just emulated for the film that I'm doing, it would look so great in, and it would look, oh my gosh, I'm excited. Hey, thank you for watching. I hope everybody have a great day. Let me know what you think about Dehancer. I think it's a great plugin, and try out the iOS version, try out the version on your desktop, see if you like it. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, have a great day.